Hello everyone, I'm Deciduous, and today I'm gonna give you some advices on how to create better levels and maybe even get a featured level. Let's get right into it. I would split the decoration of levels into 3 layers. First, it's the colors of the level. Secondly, it's the background and the foreground. And lastly, it's the intensity of the level. These aspects are crucial in getting a featured level. If one of these layers is missing, the level would look bland and not very appealing. I'll start by going into detail what each of these layers means. First, let's talk about the colors. When talking about colors, many people imagine themselves something like a rainbow. But that's not all. There's also the brightness. When making a part, it's very important to have bright things, dark things, and colorful things. I can give you an example so that you can understand better what I mean by this. Here you see a part of a level that I made. There are the colors, that's the dark bit, and these are the bright things. But what would the part look like if I removed one of these things? Looks not so good anymore, right? That's why it's so important to keep all the colors in. Now let's move to the next layer, the background and the foreground. While the foreground isn't really necessary, the background absolutely is. With the background and the foreground, your goal is to create depth in your level. The perfect way to create depth is by using colors. As you know, things that are far away seem to be darker. So an easy way to create a background is to place an object with a darker background color. This will give you the illusion that the object is further away. But placing a big square in the background isn't really the way to go. That's why it's important to place objects that might resemble something in real life, but you can't really make out what it is. That's why I'm using these wavy things in the background, since they might resemble mountains or water, but you can't really make out what it really resembles. The same applies to the foreground, with the difference that you don't use the darker background color but the brighter background color. Now that you've made the background and the foreground, it's important to make the move. In this step, a lot of new creators make mistakes, since they mix up which way something far in the background moves. But I can give you the advice that something far in the back stays longer on the screen. And you can recreate this behavior in GD by putting in a positive value in the x-axis on a move trigger. And that will make it that the object kind of follows the player, which results in that the object stays long on the screen. But the exact opposite applies for things in the foreground, since they will leave the screen faster. That means that you have to put a negative x value in the move trigger, so that it exits the screen really fast. These were all the things worth noting with backgrounds and foreground. Now let's move to the last layer, the intensity. With the intensity, I mean things like pulses, objects that move, or effects. These are the things that you can't really see on a screenshot, but only in a recording or when you play the level. And that is also the reason why so many people forget to add the last layer in their levels. Anyways, now I'm going to tell you how to add intensity to your level. For this you need to work with the song. Like when a beat drops, you can pulse the level with a different hue or a brightness. Or when the song slightly changes, you can also change the color of the level. Or you can move the structures so that they don't look too static. With this layer, you can basically do whatever you want. But always keep in mind, if one thing doesn't look good, don't hesitate and change it. Anyways, these were all the layers that you definitely need in your level in order to get a featured level. I hope you found this video helpful, and I wish you good luck with your creation. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Goodbye.